Welcome to the Le Twins Click podcast. I am Claudia, and this is a project that gathers stories about our favorite artists, Le Twins, to celebrate them and their fans. In this podcast, we discuss their influence in our personal lives as well as their impact in broader culture. My next guest is Brandy. She's a longtime fan and has attended multiple workshops since 2014. In the description down below, I put the links to the performances that we mentioned during our conversation. Enjoy. Hi, Brandy. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Let's start a little bit with your background. Where are you from? Where are you based?
Well, I am a California girl, Bay Area, not too far away from San Francisco and things like that. So it's nice.
Yeah, okay. So the Bay Area. I lived in Santa Cruz for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. Um, so just as a little introduction, before becoming a Le Twins fan, were you into dancing? Were you into, art, artistic expressions? What is your background in that area?
Well, I've always been very much into dancing. I used to take dance when I was younger with my sister. Um, then we stopped because we moved on to taking piano and singing lessons and things like that. So my artistry is more of singing. That's what I do.
Okay, nice. Do you have a genre or do you move around a bit?
I move around. I can sing pretty much anything. Nothing is really too difficult, but I can do it all.
Cool. And how did you get into the twins?
Interesting story how I got into the twins. Piggybacking off of Kendra, I went down the rabbit hole. I was on YouTube one day and I was just looking at different videos. And I came across a video, I can't remember the name of it, but they were talking about the twins and how their telepathy, the thing that they do, how that was just evil. And so I said, well, evil? I have twin siblings. I don't see how that's evil. Um, so I watched more of the video and they showed their pictures and things like that and showed them how they were dancing and how they piggybacked off of each other through their dance and everything. And I said, you know what? I have to dig into them some more. I got to find out a little bit more about them to see what's so quote unquote evil about them.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So it was because of that video that I saw. That's kind of what turned me on to the twins. Then also watching their Juice, I don't want to butcher the name, the Juice Taboo
Yeah.
performance in 2007. That's what really made me fall in love with them.
Nice. So it was like a video commentary that you watched first when they were referred to as evil for the connection?
Yes. Yeah, it was kind of like a commentary type thing and everything. And I said, I don't see how that's evil. I have twin siblings, and my twin siblings, they have their own language that they speak to one another, but it's nothing evil about it. The whole twin telepathy and things like that, there's nothing evil to that. Um, just seeing that, it made me say, you know what? I want to know a little bit more about them to see what's so evil about them. And that is far from the case from them because there is not an evil bone in their body as far as I'm concerned.
Right, yeah. Wow, what an unusual way of getting into the
Yeah,
twins, like through the haters.
exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
that's a good example of how, haters can turn the momentum into something positive. And
Yes.
yeah, it's funny like that. So you said it was the
Uh-huh.
Juiceaboo performance of 2011, like the one that they won.
Yes.
And did you start going into workshops or their events, and when did that happen?
I did. I started going to the workshops in I want to say 2014, 2015. And I took for the first workshop I went to, I took my cousins with me. I told them the next time the twins come to the Bay Area, we're gonna have to go have a twin day, of course, but have a cousin's day, and just hang out, just the three of us and everything. So when they came back, and actually for this particular workshop, they were on tour with Beyonce at the time.
Uh-huh.
So that's how that workshop came about. So we went to the workshop, had a great time. Of course, I guess like everyone else, they bought them a gift. I bought a gift for them.
What was it? What was it?
It was just a shirt, a simple shirt,
Mm-hmm.
something simple. Of course, they've never worn it, which is fine. That's fine. I'm pretty sure they get a lot of stuff that they never wear. And at the time, they had their dog Carter. So I said, you know what'd be nice for me? I bought their dog a little chew toy and everything,
Oh.
and they were very appreciative for that. So that made me feel good.
So you went to the meet and greet and you talked to them?
I did. I
How
did.
was that?
I got a picture and everything. That was so much fun. It was amazing.
Oh, did you dance at the workshop or you were just spectating?
No, I spectate. I love to dance, don't get me wrong, but watching Laurent and watching Larry do their dances, I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to do that.
You
I'm
want
not
to
about to do
observe.
that. I just observe. I do a simple two-step and that's it.
So that would have been a San Francisco workshop.
Yes,
Yeah, okay. Because they do go back to San Francisco a lot, don't
they
they?
do. They do. And every
So,
time they come, I make sure I'm there.
oh, beautiful. So you've been to quite a few workshops then?
Yes, I have.
Oh, that's so cool. And you've been to the very recent one, right? The one in October?
Yes, I was at that one in October, and that one was a lot of fun and it was amazing.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about it, about how it was and just the vibe and if you interacted with them?
The vibe was very chill. Um, of course, it was supposed to start at 5:30, but the twins didn't get there till about 6 o'clock. Of course,
Sure.
they were late as always. And I sat on Laurent's side. It was just very laid back, very chill, very open. It was just a lot of fun. Um, I saw a lot of people that I've met through the twins. I saw a lot of them there. So it was kind of like a little mini reunion to see everybody besides talking to everybody through via Instagram or Facebook or things like that. Of course, watching Larry talking about he had to use the bathroom, that was the highlight of the workshop. Talking about if he goes to the bathroom, he would forget his choreography. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun moment.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I met a lot of great people at that particular workshop as well. So I enjoy going to them because I meet a whole lot of people in the fandom and it's just a beautiful thing.
Well, that's really exciting to meet the fans. Even for me, whenever I'm
Yes.
gonna go, I'm really excited to meet all these people that I'm talking to. So cool. And did you interact with them at all?
I got to interact a little bit. Laurent was there and then he just mysteriously vanished. Um I took I took my youngest son with me to this workshop and he got a picture with Laurent, which I thought was wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, and then he got a picture with Larry, which I thought was wonderful as well. Um, and then kind of what kind of shook me was I was sitting by Larry,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden he just sneezed, and Larry just doesn't sneeze. He has this loud, obnoxious sneeze that he does, and it scared me, and it made me jump. And he looked at me, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, "Why did you do that?" And he's looking at me. He's like, I had to sneeze. I'm like, well, you could have warned me that you had to sneeze instead of scaring me.
I didn't know he had such scary sneezes.
Well, to me, it scared me because I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't ready for it. And so I told him, like, if you had warned me, then yeah, that would have helped. But you didn't warn me that you were about to sneeze. So
And since you've been to quite a few workshops over the years. Have they changed? Have the workshops changed over time?
Not so much. The crowd is pretty much the same.
I
I
see.
mean, you see like newcomers here and there, but the crowd is pretty much the same.
Hmm.
Participation is pretty much the same.
As in the number of people.
Yeah, and the number of people. But I think at every workshop, you kind of get a different version of the twins.
Hmm.
At every single workshop, you get a different version. So you never know exactly what you're going to get.
Depends on their mood.
Yeah, most definitely depending on their mood.
What kind of moods have you experienced?
Experience, well, Lo has always been very laid back, very chill, not very excitable, it seems. Larry, on the other hand, I've seen his good side and I've seen his bad side.
Okay.
So just depending.
As in the good side, as in he was in a good mood and he was friendly. And in the,
Yes.
yeah, and in the bad
Yes.
side.
And I've seen Larry on his bad side where somebody has got on his nerves or somebody has said something to him that he didn't like or somebody did something he didn't like. Then you see a different version of Larry. So yeah, I've kind of seen it all, except I haven't seen Lo lose his temper yet. So I'm still kind of waiting on that one. But yeah, with Larry, I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm kind of used to it by now.
Yeah, because I mean, especially Larry, like they're so unfiltered that, whatever he
Yes,
feels, he shows. He's not like going to pretend that he's not feeling something that he feels.
yes,
And, I think it's part of why we love them so much, really. It's that.
yes. And Larry is definitely going to say what needs to be said, regardless of how you feel. He does not spare your feelings. He's going to say what needs to be said.
That I've realized. Yeah, I think it's up to you whether to take it as an offense or not, I suppose. Like,
Yes,
he's gonna say what he really thinks. And yeah, I know some people made the comment of being mean, but yeah, it's really up to you how you take it.
exactly. And I mean, who's not going to get an attitude? Who's not going to have an attitude depending on how you come at them, you know? So it just really depends. If you're nice to the twins, if you're respectable and you don't come off as being you're so much better than whomever, then they're fine. But if you come off as, well, I'm better than you and I know more about this and that and you don't know anything, then yeah, you're going to get that back. They feed they feed off of energy. I picked up on that as well. They feed off of a lot of energy. So depending on what energy you're giving out, that's what you're going to get in return.
Ah, that's beautiful. That how you worded it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because I have seen, I think it was the New Orleans workshop from 2023, and I saw a moment when like there was a guy who was really rude with Larry, and I was like, "Whoa, like what's
Yes,
happening? You're at his workshop." And it's
exactly.
like I didn't imagine that people would be like that. Like I thought that if you go to their workshop, you would respect them, but I feel like there's somebody who, there's some ego involved and they want to challenge them or whatever the story is behind it.
Because people think that they are better than the twins. And what a lot of dancers have to understand is it's not about being better, it's just about being better at your craft and doing what you can do, what you can physically possibly do. Yeah, the twins can go above and beyond. That's because they work at their crafts and they're able to move and flex and do things with their bodies that most of us can't do.
And I feel like
So
I heard Lo saying on the cruise that he was bringing up the example of like a dancer making one simple move and everybody going like, whoa, and another dancer doing the same move and everybody, wouldn't be touched by it at all. And I think it's like, it's how the energy that you put into it and that
exactly.
changes everything.
Absolutely does.
They are such an example of that. So,
Yes, they are.
I suppose like their haters are the people who don't understand that are like, oh, you should be able to do more tricks or stuff like that. But they don't understand that there's the energy behind it, that it's really everything. It's what we get. It's what is uplifting.
Exactly.
I was surprised by that actually people would go to their workshops to challenge them in that way of being like, "Oh, I'll show you that I'm better than you," rather than to absorb and to show their own talent really without,
Yeah.
um, yeah, getting ugly over it.
You would think it would be different, but no, everybody wants to make it seem like they're better. And it's not where, I'm trying and I just want to show you that I'm trying and I'm able to do what I can do. It's no, I have to be better than you. And yet Lo is able to do things that are just, I don't know how he does them.
Hmm.
His flexibility is out of this world. Um, Larry with his leg movements and the things that he can do, it's absolutely crazy. And you hear people saying, "Oh my God, the twins are aliens. Oh my God, they're aliens because nobody can do what they can do."
Hmm.
There may be some truth behind that. You just never know. Because it's like, how is one person, a human being, able to do what they're able to do? Yet they've been doing it their entire life.
What I love about them is that it really comes, their dancing comes from a really pure place. It's not
Yes,
coming at all from how they should be doing things. And
exactly.
that's why it's more powerful and more free.
And it's the same with music, it's the same with singing. Michael Jackson said, if I'm not feeling the lyrics, then I can't sing the song.
Beautiful.
And that makes absolute perfect sense because I'm the same way. If I'm not feeling the lyrics of a song, then I can't sing it. I'm not going to be able to put in as much effort or give it that much energy that the song needs because the lyrics, one, they don't make any sense, or two, I'm not feeling what this person is saying. So I can't go out there and just sing what you want me to sing, and I have to feel it.
Mm.
And it's the same with dancing. You have to feel what you're feeling. You have to feel that, and in order to move in your body and things like that, you have to feel it
Hmm.
for people to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. And do you perform?
I do somewhat. It's like, well, right now, my quote unquote performance, I'm singing for my sister in her wedding at the end of the month. So I have that on me right now. So I'm rehearsing for that. Yay me.
Yeah.
But mostly I sing in church.
Cool.
Um, I do some things with some other friends of mine. I help my nephew. He's an aspiring rapper, and sometimes he'll have me singing the hook or something on one of his songs and things like that. So I do that. I'm in the midst of right now helping my brother in law, well, soon to be brother in law, with some music as well. So I stay in it, I stay busy.
Do you compose as well? Do you create?
Um, Now I create lyrics, I can do that. Um, the music and things like that, I leave to my brother-in-law to do because that's his thing and that's what he loves to do.
Sure.
So I let him do the music. I'll write the lyrics and we'll make something beautiful from that.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. So do you think, like, if you think about it, do you think that the twins have had an influence in your life since you started watching them and following them? Do you think that they changed something, they had an impact that you can talk about?
They've definitely had an impact on my life. I don't want to get emotional, but I do kind of get emotional
I
when I
do get
talk about
emotional.
this.
Feel free to get emotional.
I can't help it. But
Yeah.
back in 2018, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer.
Okay.
And around the same time, my father was diagnosed with cancer as well. So, if you can imagine, my father and I both battling cancer,
Mm.
going through the ups and downs of that. Um, it was difficult at times. And I just remember one day I was in my room. I was having a bad day. I was in my room and I got up, went to my father's room. I checked on him because even though I was sick, I was still caring for my father because That's just my nature. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
So I went and I checked on him and I asked him if he was doing okay. And he said he was feeling okay. And I said, "You want to watch a video with me?" And he said, "Well, what video do you want to watch?" I said, "Oh, goody." So I went to his TV, I pulled up YouTube, and I threw on a Les Twins video. And he said, "Well, what is this?" I said, "Well, these are the guys that I go see in San Francisco every time they come to the Bay Area. These are the guys that I'm going to see. I'll go watch them dance and interact, have fun, and things like that." So my dad and I sat up and we watched a few of their videos.
Oh.
And my dad said, "Those boys are bad." I was like, "You really think so?" He said, "Yeah, they can dance." He said, "Do you think you could do any of that?" I said, "No way in hell can I do any of that." I said, "I just love to watch what they do."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it wasn't too long after that in 2020, I lost my father. And I remember I was in bed, I was boohooing, I was in tears, I was crying. And my youngest son, he came in and he saw me and he just looked at me. He said, "Mom, are you okay?" And I said, "No, not today. Today is a bad day."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Okay." He climbed in my bed with me, got my remote, threw on a Les Twins video. He said, "I know what'll make you feel better." He said, "This will make you smile." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I looked up at the TV and I said, "Oh, you put on the Twins." He said, "Yeah, because I know that would make you smile." And he was right. I smiled through my tears that day. So even though I even though I haven't really been able to tell the twins, to themselves how much they truly do mean to me. I hope that one day they will see this podcast and they'll hear all the different stories and they'll be able to see the impact that they have on people's lives because they are just absolutely wonderful human beings, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And even if you catch them on a bad day, they still give you 100%. They still give you their best, no matter what.
Right.
And that's what I truly love and appreciate about them.
That's just like how the impact of good art, like literally
Yes,
can transform your life.
yes,
Yeah, I'm always in awe by that. And that's why, like, I love celebrating them as, to me, the most powerful artists that I've encountered.
exactly.
And I feel like, yeah, the impact should be talked about, because then I think, like, when you start really touching so many people's lives, it's like you create a movement, and I think that's what they're doing. And I think that should be talked about and really celebrated.
Absolutely.
So I love just hearing these stories. When you were mentioning your son, I saw that you posted some pictures, the pictures that you said that you took at the San Francisco workshop.
Did.
Yeah.
I kind of forced my son to go with me. He didn't want to go initially, but I forced him to go with me. But when he got there, he absolutely had a wonderful time. And what shocked me was he said the next time they come back, he wants to participate and he wants to dance. Totally stepping out of my son's comfort zone because he doesn't like to do things like that. He's very low key, very chill, very laid back, kind of just stays in the background for himself. And I asked him, I said, "Okay, well, which twin do you want to dance with?" He said, "Well, I think I want to dance with Laurent." I said, "Are you sure about that?" I said, "Did you see how complex he is? Did you saw in the workshop how he was?"
His choreography at San Francisco this time was really, really, he really went into intricate, complex stuff.
He did. And I asked my son, I said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" I said, "Now you saw Larry, even though Larry's was complex too, but I'm like, maybe you could do a little bit better with Larry." He said, "No, I want to dance with Laurent." So I said, "Okay, next time they come, the floor is yours."
That's awesome. And I think, like, that's what I hear people saying, that they get, like, from what they get from the workshops is so much positivity that they feel that they
Yes,
can do things. and they feel that they can dance. But yeah, I think also with the choreographies that I've seen, it feels like it depends on their mood, that one too.
Yes,
And so
yes.
like sometimes it's a bit more flowy, sometimes a little bit more complex. To me, Larry's, when I first watched it, that choreography, it was just like, wow, that's really a masterpiece. Like that's so good. It was really great, the San Francisco one. And do you have anything to say of how they actually make a choreography? Like in what space they get into? Because I only see like little bits. I've never seen the whole building of a choreography. Is there anything that you can say that of how they do it?
The thing that I can say about that is just it's amazing to watch them do it. When Lo comes in and he's doing his choreography and things like that, sometimes he'll forget. And it'll be the group having to say, no, we do this and we do that. And then he'll say, oh, yeah, so let's go back and do this and that again. But it's so amazing to watch. It's so interesting to watch them just come up with stuff on the spot, you know? It's really amazing. And I've often wanted to ask, do you guys just make these things up on, the spot, or do you actually take the time to sit up the night before or a couple of days before saying, this is the choreography that I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do? How do you guys go about doing that? I would love to ask that question.
Well, I've heard them saying that they just make it up on the spot.
Yes, but you couldn't tell. You honestly could not tell that it was made up on the spot. You couldn't tell. You would think that they've been working on this for a week at least.
Oh wow, I love that. Um, is there anything that you feel like you would like to add? Any things that we haven't
Um,
touched that it's important to you?
I think the only thing I want to add is that you just have to give them grace,
Ah, hmm.
um, because the twins are just all over the place, and it seems like they never take a break, they never stop. They're constantly moving, they're constantly on the go. So you have to give them grace. If you're privileged enough to either see them at a workshop or see them at a show or whatever event it is, give them grace, because you don't know if they're working off of 24 hours of sleep or if they're working off of X many hours of sleep. You just never know. So if they're coming at you a certain way, don't take it as oh, he was being rude, he was being mean, oh, he did this, he did that. No, maybe he was tired, maybe he wasn't feeling well. We know that Laurent has issues with his knees, so maybe his knees were bothering him, this particular day. You just never know.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, give them grace,
Mm,
you know, just give them grace.
yeah, yeah, and appreciate what they do, really.
Yes, because they don't have to do it. That's
Right.
the thing about it. They don't have to put on these workshops. They don't have to interact with their fans. They don't have to do these meet and greets, even though they cost a lot of money. But I would pay, the money just to be able to go and watch them do what they do, to be able to interact with them, get a hug and talk with them a little bit, get a picture, just to let them know I am a number one fan. Um, and I have met a lot of beautiful people in the fandom because of the twins. I've met a lot of beautiful people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any favorite moments? Like if you had to pick one with Larry and one with Lo of over the years?
My one favorite moment with Laurent. It was at a workshop. I want to say it was in 2016, 2017.
Hmm.
We were outside and we were all talking, getting ready. I was getting ready to take a picture with him, and I was getting ready to put my arm around his back, just for the picture. I didn't mean anything by it. I just wanted to put my arm around his back just to get a picture.
Yeah.
And he said, no, don't do that. I'm sweaty. I said, I don't care. He said, but I do. And everyone around us was on his side saying, well, he cares. don't touch him. He cares. I said, well, I really don't care. I just want to put my arm around you just to kind of get a little close
Yeah.
to take this picture.
Yeah.
But that was a funny moment with him. Um, with Larry, I have to say it was at another particular workshop. I can't remember the year. But I met some other people in the clique, and he was dancing on this other fan of his, and this gentleman was standing off to the side watching. And as soon as Larry was done dancing, he turned and looked at the gentleman and he said, "Oh my gosh, is this your wife?" And everybody fell out laughing because it was like, no, we don't know this man from Adam, but you're dancing all up on her. And I guess the way the guy was looking at her, I guess Larry kind of felt, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But that was also another funny moment.
Would
So,
have been.
so the guys, they're just amazing. That's all I can say. They are absolutely amazing and they are wonderful people. I can't wait for them to come back to the Bay Area so I can go to another workshop, take my son to the workshop and let him be able to participate and just enjoy and have fun. My son loves to draw. Both of my boys love to draw. But it was kind of after the workshop, my son really got into his artistry and drawing.
Oh, beautiful. Unlocked. You unlocked something.
So I told him, I said, going to this workshop is showing you a different form of artistry. I said, what you do with drawing and things like that, this is what they do through dance. They said it's the same thing. It's just
Same
they
feeling.
express it differently.
Yeah.
Exactly. They express it differently.
Oh, I love that when you get inspired in your own way and then you translate it in
Yes,
your own way.
exactly.
Oh, that's beautiful. If you ever feel like posting some pictures of your son's art, I would love to take a look and to post them and, let it circulate around if that's something that they would appreciate.
Oh, I most definitely will. Both of my boys are amazing artists.
Oh,
They
great.
both are.
Yeah, I really want to make like this space also to showcase people's work, people who have been inspired by the twins. Um,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's very important. So if they, illustrators, drawings, or whatever, even music, whatever it is that they have influenced or have helped, channel through, that I'm happy to showcase it. I love that.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Please do send me some pictures or anything that you feel like sharing.
Oh, yes, most definitely. And I know on my part, the next time they come to the Bay Area and I see them, I'm going to definitely tell them, you have to check out the podcast.
Thank
You
you.
have to check out the podcast and hear everybody's story. I don't care how many stories it is. You have to sit down, take the time, and listen to everybody's individual story because you have impacted their life in such an amazing way. You guys need to know this.
Yeah, I feel like, if they will ever listen to it, I'm like, I really hope that it's going to make them feel good and really for them put them into context at what they're doing and the impact that they have and just remind them, like really truly make them feel good about what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if they know about this and that they know that there are people out there sharing their stories and
Mm.
things like that about them, I think they would love to know what other people are saying about them and how they make other people feel.
Okay.
Because it's only so much that you can do and say at a workshop because time is always, you know, it- they're always on a time schedule at these workshops and things like that. So I think this would be a lovely way for them to really get to know some of their fans, hear their stories, and even go to future workshops telling about the podcast. Oh, well, I heard such and such story on our podcast, and this is how I impacted their life, and this is what I want to show you, whatever, and things like that. So yeah, most definitely. I will definitely let them know.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. Well, all right. So thank you so much for participating and for telling your story. It was beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Have a beautiful day.
Bye. You too.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and impressions. And also, if you want to keep on listening to more episodes, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for listening again. See you all next time.